What's up, guys? So today we're going to talk about ADUs, and this is something that's become very popular here in Hawaii simply because it's very expensive to live here, and the government has created this new permit, a new option to create more affordable housing. Stick around to get all the details and see how you can potentially supplement your mortgage payment with more income. See you on the other side. Alright guys, so today we're going to talk about ADUs. These have become extremely popular out here in Hawaii since they passed the new law, and I'm going to go dive into it so you can get a better idea of what it is and whether you could actually do it. So let's take a look at my computer and look at some of the documents to go over what an ADU is and what you need to have to actually qualify to have one.
Alright guys, so let's jump into it. Hawaii ADU units, or Accessory Dwelling Units. What is it? What are the rules and regulations? I'm going to go over it all right now. Now, this is the Hawaii ADU handbook. It's very straightforward. It'll give you all the details you need. But in this video, I'm just going to give you basically a brief overview and summary of the information you need to know and to kind of give you clearance on whether you want to move forward with this and whether you even qualify. So let's dive into it. First thing, what is an ADU unit? Now, an ADU unit is basically an extra legal single family home, basically an extra dwelling that has another legal kitchen. So in past videos, we've talked about how, depending on your zoning, R5, R10, what have you, the rules and regulations are you can have one single family home with one legal kitchen. And a legal kitchen is made up of a refrigerator, a stove, and a sink. Now with this ADU unit, and you getting permitted for this, you can now have two. You can now have an additional unit that's between 400 and 800 square feet, depending on your lot size. We'll go over that has a full legal kitchen. And this is great because this can help you create supplemental income or help cover the mortgage payment. And the reason why the state put this in place is to create more affordable housing for the local community. And we'll go more into the rules and regulations and why those two things are matched with the rules that are in place to match the reasoning why they did that. So we'll dive into that in a second. But now let's go into the 9 things that you need to check off before you move forward with the application process to make sure that you can even get an ADU unit. So let's check that out. Number 1, the property is zoned residential, whether it's R3.5, R5, 7.5, R10, or R20. It needs to be a residential zoned property. It can't be business, it can't be ag, it has to be residential. So keep that in mind. Most of the times, 9 out of 10 times, you're probably already sitting on a residential zone property, but check with your realtor. You can check on this website right here, or you can give me a call and I'll look it up for you. But that is one of the rules that you need to check off before moving forward with the application process. Number 2, the lot area is at least 3,500 square feet. So if your lot is less than 3,500 square feet, sorry, but you cannot build an ADU unit. So basically the rules and regulations is they need to make sure there's enough room for you to even put an additional unit, which is why they have these requirements. So if you have a property that's between 3,500 and 4,999 square feet, you can technically, as long as you fit the bill and check all the other marks and get the permits, you can technically build an ADU unit that's a max of 400 square feet. Now, if you have a property that's 5,000 square feet or larger, then you could build an ADU unit up to 800 square feet. So that allows you to build kind of a larger unit, which is great, right? Number 3, the lot cannot be landlocked. So as we can see in this beautiful image here, the first one we have is a flag lot, which are very popular out here. We see them all the time. Basically what you have is one big property that has basically 2 properties on it. So it's basically been cut up. But what you can see here is that they have access to their property with the driveway. This is good. Number 2 is an easement. So basically there's a driveway that's shared, whether it's between neighbors or what have you. There's an agreement of an easement. I have another videos talking about that. But as long as you have an easement, an agreement that allows them to go through your property, because you see this one's cut off here. This one, they're going through this property. That's why it's an easement. As long as you have an agreement and that easement's set there and they can get to their property, you're still good. It's the third one, the landlocked. As you can see here, we have two separate property lines basically, and this is basically just a walkway. That ain't gonna work. You can't just have a walkway or just tell them to take the side gate. They need to have their own actual access to their unit. Number 4, the lot does not contain more than one dwelling unit. This is pretty straightforward, but I will explain a bit more detail. So basically, if you already have a duplex or 2 units on the property, you're nixed. You can't build another additional ADU unit. They don't want to be building all these different ADU units on places that already have pretty much maxed out how many units are on that property, which is why they have that rule in place. Number 5, the property owner or property owner's family or designated representative will reside in either the primary dwelling or the ADU unit. So generally speaking, you, the primary resident, must live on the property in either the big house or the ADU unit. Or you could have a family member or a designated representative. Basically, you need to have somebody who's family member, you yourself, or designated resident who lives in one of those units. And this is just basically to control the chaotic, vacation renters that are coming out here and they're just renting like crazy, or just throwing people in there that don't really care about the property. They're trying to make sure that the state doing this, trying to help affordable housing, isn't going to ruin neighborhoods by having a bunch of investors come in and just buy properties and just plop an ADU and just rent them out to whoever. So that's kind of the reason why they put that law and rule and regulation in place. Number 6, the property owner will record covenants running with the land with the Bureau of Conveyance or the Land Court of the State of Hawaii, or both. What does that mean? Basically, you need to record that you have an ADU unit, and more importantly, you can't sell the property as 2, saying, hey, this is one unit, this is another, we're selling them separate. They're sold as one. So generally speaking, that's what we're looking at there. Number 7, if you signed a private covenant prohibiting ADUs, you cannot build one. Basically, if you live somewhere like in Eva or Kapolei or any of these other areas out there, and they have, an association or an HOA, and they say no ADUs allowed, basically that oversees your ADU permit. So if the HOA says no, you can't do it, that's it, dead end road. You can't build an ADU unit. Number 8, the lot fits one parking space in addition to the parking required for the primary dwelling. So basically what this means is there needs to be at least one off-street parking spot for that ADU unit. And the reasoning behind this is because imagine if your entire neighborhood started getting ADU units, and each one of those ADU units needs 1 or 2 parking spots. Now imagine those people are parking on the street now, and your nice quiet street, now you look out at it and you can't find any street parking from when your family comes in. It's just a nightmare. It's always full because everybody has an ADU unit. That's the reason for that rule and regulation, and so just keep that in mind. You need at least one designated off-street parking for that unit. Number 9, I briefly went over this a second ago, but the ADU will have a maximum size of 400 square feet from 3,500 to 4,999 square foot lots. Lots 5,000 and above can build a ADU unit up to 800 square feet. And remember, these ADU units can have legal kitchens, refrigerator, sink, and a stove, which is awesome. So that's pretty much the gist of it. There's a bunch of other details in this handbook which you can download in the description below. If you have any other questions, you can contact the DPP or the Department of Permitting and Planning. You can always reach out to me if you have any other questions, but this should get you in the right direction to understanding whether you need to start filling out applications or start calling people, or whether, maybe this isn't the best fit for you. But anyways, guys, I hope this was helpful. If you have any other questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. Press that subscribe and smash that like button if you like this video. I would love to hear from you. So you guys have a beautiful day. I'll talk to you soon. Aloha.